a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, we got an action-packed show for you here today on the Consumer QB Show, helping you win in any marketplace. We're going to talk about another fine for a big bank. Bank of America fined $250 million by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We also are going to talk about Sound of Freedom, the movie that a lot of the news outlets, MSM news outlets, are trying to allegedly tie to the QAnon and these types of things. You got a movie about human trafficking, and it's trying to be buried by one side of the political aisle. So Sound of Freedom movie is still doing great, $40 million, the latest numbers that I have seen as far as ticket sales. I've got a great lineup for you here as well. Doug Clark, Hours Creole restaurant partner. Shane Socash back on the program, back from vacation. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin, as well as Michael Johnson, Dennison Yachting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Going to talk about his fuel program. They've got a really unique fuel program that can help you as a boater find the best rates on gasoline, fuel, diesel as well. And Dennison Yachting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Did a little scalloping over the weekend, too. We're going to talk about that and some of the other things that you can get into there on the water. And before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties. So if you're thinking about selling a property, you're leaving money on the table if you're not listing with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We help sellers maximize the exposure and profit more, sell faster, have one of the highest list price to sell price ratios in all of Tampa Bay, meaning your price is stickier with us. We're going to negotiate a better deal for you. Vacant land, residential, and commercial properties from the Platinum MVP team. All right, we got a partner listing up in North Carolina here. This is on Heaton Forest. We got a $12 million listing with a partner Keller Williams team. The listing is actually Bill DeVore's listing up in North Carolina. This is a beautiful estate-style property, 530 Heaton Forest Road. This is Keller Williams Professionals, Keller Williams Realty, luxury specialist Bill DeVore's team. And, of course, 530 Heaton Forest Road, Cashiers, North Carolina. 11 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, 10,000 square feet, luxurious oasis in High Hampton, designed and just a great layout here in the mountains. You got fireplace, many decks. You've got a secondary home as well on this property, 530 Heaton Forest Road. If you know anybody looking to get a nice place in Cashiers, this one's $12 million. Beautiful property in the Carolinas. Compliments of Bill DeVore's real estate team. We also have a property here in Tampa and Lutz. It's 3704 Burger Road in Lutz. This is a $2.4 million listing of ours on Burger Road, Lutz, Florida. Another huge home here, 10,000 square feet, 9 bedrooms, 12 baths. You got an indoor pool area, full bar, oversized deck, full tennis court, library, movie theater, sauna, 2 master suites, grand balcony, and more. 3704 Burger Road in Lutz, Florida. This is Hillsborough County, and you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, I want to give a shout out as well to Innovative Solar, FL.com. Innovative Solar, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you're thinking about solar, they can apply this to your commercial or residential home. And the prices on solar have come down over the years with the better technologies and systems in place. So think about solar. Give it a shot. We've got 52 panels on our home, and we actually like it. It's helping us curb our cost on energy, and Lord knows we all need help on that with the this Bidenomics, as they say. They branded that term, which is kind of crazy that they would actually brand that themselves. Okay, yeah. So we got Michael Johnson, Dennison Yachting in studio. And we always like to talk about getting on the water fast, Michael. I like that strategy.
Well, it's good to see you again, as always.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again for letting me come in. And, yeah, let's talk about some yachting. How about it?
I like it. So you looking to live on board? I like that.
Yeah, let's talk about liveaboards, because we have there's so many people coming down from the north, but there's also, with the real estate prices going up a little bit, there's been this discussion with, I'll live on the water. Sounds like a good idea, right? I'll put an anchor out, and I'll just put a little tender, and I'll come in town and when I need stuff. There is so there's some parts of this, and we're getting a lot more calls in this. So I thought maybe we'd put this out as some educational pieces on getting people ready if their thought process is, hey, I want to live on a vessel. Now, of course, the phone calls we get this, hey, I'm looking about doing liveaboard down by the channel, and I immediately, I don't know about you, but my initial reaction is, is this Chris Farley talking to me, like down by the river?
Yeah.
There's so many levels to this, right? So there's you basically is becoming prepared. How do you get prepared if you're going to do a liveaboard? I think as best as what are you going to do with it? What do you mean by liveaboard? Because we have some individuals that come down here and they actually buy really nice motor yachts and they live on it in a marina full time as their home. And there's a lot of amenities within these marinas. Some of them have pools. Some of them have laundry facilities. They're close to downtown areas. It is a great option, but there's like a lot that comes along with it. And there's that option, but there's also the option we get a lot too is that, hey, I'm buying a catamaran. I'm thinking about living aboard it a couple months out of the year. I'm going down to the Caribbean. I'm going to anchor up in the Bahamas. That's a whole nother level.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the best.
Can't wait.
If I had a selection or a choice, I think that'd be it.
The catamaran too versus the V-hull. I just love that idea of having the cat because you've got those two, what do you call it? Anchor spot, not anchor, but spots in the water where you're points of entry into the water. So the cats just seem like they're going to be much more efficient as far as cutting waves and making it more stable.
It is, yeah. So you got multi-hulls, they basically call them. We have multi-hulls, catamarans. You can get them in sails or power.
Yeah.
So you got options. Yeah, but you're right. They're wider. They're more stable. And with individuals that are not used to boating, and you have some families that are like, look, you want to start boating? I want to make sure this is like more of an apartment feel, and that's where the catamarans start to come in because they're beamy. They get up to 26.
Wide,
I've seen some that are 40 feet wide.
Yeah, these can't go on the roads. I mean, unless you pay for that extra wide load or whatever. Right?
No, you can't. And some of them you can't even get into the marinas. And so these are good. These are good questions about preparing before you get into a liveaboard.
Yeah.
But yes, catamarans are really attractive right now. A lot of individuals looking for catamarans, and so it basically comes down to just having a plan. If call the marinas first, don't start looking at boats until you call a marina and to dictate, I want to liveaboard. Now it's a very sensitive word because the insurance companies actually don't like it. The banks don't like it. You would think you're living aboard it. You're gonna be on all the time. You're gonna catch something early. They really don't like it. So using the word live aboard is actually a very it's a buzzword for a lot of the industry parts where they just don't want to get near it. So it's best to first kind of start off is calling marinas and go, look, we're thinking about staying on the boat a good amount of time. What's your regulations? Because some of the cities dictate this stuff. They tell you there's a certain percentage each marina that you could have liveaboards. They might be at capacity. They might not allow it at all. But if they don't, then they have caps. They'll do it's a 10-day cap, but you can only stay in there 5 days consecutively. Or so some will come in and they'll go, okay, that's 5 days consecutively, but I'm going to go out and do transient slipping, slip somewhere else. Or I'm going to anchor out, or I'm going to travel somewhere. So there's a little bit of a regulation. You got to kind of find out what you're doing, what you're getting into.
Right. Yeah, that's smart because if you spend all this money on a big yacht, and then you think you have one plan in your mind, and they say, oh well, every 5 days you have to leave the port, and take it out or whatever, go to another port, come back. But yeah, I mean that could definitely throw a wrench into your plans.
Oh yeah, especially if you're not prepared for it, and if you've been searching for a boat and you're ready to put an offer on a boat, and then you turn around and go, I don't have the marina yet.
Yep.
You're going to probably get disappointed pretty quick. So it's all about preparation. Go to the marinas first. Find out what the cities will allow. Find out places you can go. And there are a lot of individuals doing this. So you better get ready that it's going to be limited and where you can put the boat. But at least you get started and you can find it and put it in somewhere. It might not be your perfect spot yet.
Yep.
But then you can get on wait lists and kind of move into the marinas you want to be.
Yeah, I hear this from time to time. Home sellers, people that have land or homes, and they've been saying, "Hey, look, the property taxes are going up, property insurance is going up. I'm selling out. I'm buying a boat or I'm buying an RV, and we're going to take off."
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you have them switching. So I have a really great couple right now. They've been doing liveaboard for 6 years in Bradenton. And they've sold out of the yacht, and they bought an RV, and they're like, all right, we're done with the water. We're exploring by land now.
There you go.
Yeah, you got a little bit of flipping back and forth.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I think retirees, I mean, what a great way to do it, man. Or even, we talked a little bit pre-show about this 4-hour work week, this idea of being able to be, work from wherever you want now.
Yeah.
So you got the Zooms and the Skypes and all that. Working remote is a pretty big deal. We're talking with Michael Johnson here, DennisonYachting.com, DennisonYachting.com, 727-260 263-3707. Call or text that hotline. Any questions you have, save this number in your phone, because at some point you may need it. You may need an attorney. You may need home services, real estate, mortgage, title, credit improvement, so many ways. 727-263-3707. And that's what we designed this show almost 10 years ago. Right at 10 years now. 727-263-3707. Call or text the show hotline. By the way, follow us online at CQB Show, at Brandon Rhymes 1. And our YouTube channel has over 2,300 plus videos now, I believe, on our YouTube channel. So lots of great information there on our YouTube channel as well. So we've got Michael Johnson in studio, our yachting expert, boating expert. And where do you want to go next, Michael?
Well, I think you're talking about things you could do with your boat and what you're going to having a plan. You actually kind of dabbled on scalloping. Why don't we talk about your scalloping experience?
Yeah. So I'm a member of a club here in Tampa Bay. I go out on a boat, and maybe I've had that club for a long time. So we went out, had a good time. I'm kind of dragging behind the boat. First time scalloping. Grew up in Florida, hunting, fishing, doing all that kind of stuff, but just never really did the scalloping thing. And it was a good time.
Did you get any scallops out of it?
Not much.
No.
Not very. It was a cloudy day. It was, it's one of those days where it's threatening to rain. But I'm like, whatever. I just want to get out of the house, get on the boat. And get out there and have some fun, man. And we did fish some, and
that's good.
And then had an issue with one of the batteries on the boat. But yeah, I love it. And speaking of that too, a couple weeks ago, I went out with Captain Will Smith, our private pilot and airline industry expert. We went over to Beer Can Island. It was really cool, man. And I met up with a friend of mine that owns these pages like Tampa Bay is Awesome and all these different pages. Got lots of followers. We're looking at doing some partnership stuff on the real estate side. But if you that Beer Can Island down south there, just south of the river, coming straight out, people have been going to that for years, just kind of like, we'll go out there on the weekends, kind of informal. I just found out, I guess somebody bought that island. I heard the story. They bought the island for like $40,000.
Is that what they paid for it?
That's what he told me. One of my friends told me this. And now when you go out there, there's like tiki bar set up, DJs. They got one of those big blow-up slides where the kids are sliding down.
Oh, they keep adding to it.
Yeah, they're adding all this cool stuff on it. But that's what, Tampa Bay is awesome, right? I mean, there's so many different things to do here in Tampa Bay, man.
That's the thing, is your environment changes every time you turn around. I mean, that's just the great thing about Tampa. Because, between the beaches and then downtown St. Pete, and then you're talking about now going to Fantasy Island and Beer Can Island just south of Harbor Island. It's just there's too much to do, especially by land and by water. So
bringing it back to the land side, I just found out about this racing track that was built over by 301 I-4 and I-75 there.
Enclave.
Yeah, the Enclave. I just found out about it. I didn't realize that, but it's basically car condos where people, how these enthusiasts are, Ford or Chevy, Lamborghini, whatever, right? So they pay a pretty significant amount of money for a condo for their car, to keep their car. And then of course, you've got maybe the refrigerator with a little bit of beverages in there. You got the dartboards or whatever. But the attraction is you got a dirt road track and a race track, so people keep their nice cars there, pull them down, run them around the track. What a cool idea, man!
It's a great idea, because you're starting to get people together for different reasons and what their passions are.
Yes.
It's like you get the groups in for boating, you get the groups in for racing and cars, talk cars. I think that's a brilliant concept, because you could actually use their cars to race. We had looked into maybe getting a place out there, because you could do so much with it, but it was also a hangout spot, because you end up building these bars and these hangout lounges above the track. So there's just so many great things to do you can get into. So I think that kind of goes back to that, you having a plan, obviously, getting on the water, make sure you know what you're doing beforehand. That's why you can call us. We're kind of the experts and the consultants in the field. We're kind of more of a direct case of what we can do to help you find the right avenue to getting on the water fast. What are the hurdles and obstacles you're getting into? And I think that's a big thing, is that's why we put individuals like us in the field, especially like realtors or brokers or yacht brokers. We just want to really try to help make it a lot easier for customers.
So you help people buy or sell, right? You're a broker that can help people buy or sell and find the right setup for them?
We do. And if you put it in a relation to real estate, it's almost the same thing. We're just slinging stuff on the water. You guys are slinging stuff on land.
Right.
So it's the same capacity. We have individuals that are listing boats for sale, and then of course we have individuals that are looking to buy. So we'll go to the market, try to find something for them, and
Nice.
fit their expectations. Yeah,
I like it. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back more with Michael Johnson with Dennison Yachting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about this BOA. Bank of America got fined again. Wells Fargo had a big one not long ago. These big corporations support the local economy here by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. All of our expert contributors, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and more with Michael Johnson with Dennison Yachting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right. Hey, I'm Brandon Rhymes. We got Michael Johnson in studio, Dennison Yachting on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 861 Mandalay Avenue. This is on Clearwater Beach. Gorgeous property. This is a property that's on the north side of the beach. Clearwater Beach, known for its celebrity hangouts. Lots of big names there surrounding you and will be your neighbor here. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, beautiful jetted tub. Great opportunity on a beach property here. You literally walk about 200 steps and you're on the sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach, north side of Clearwater Beach. 861 Mandalay Avenue. One of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. All right, 3416 Crepe Myrtle Drive in Hernando Beach. This is another waterfront beauty, taking a little bit further north, Hernando Beach. You got 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1864 square feet, totally remodeled, gorgeous design and setup. It's turnkey for a short-term rental. 3416 Crepe Myrtle Drive, Hernando Beach. Beautiful waterfront property, bay access. Go fishing and enjoy that Florida lifestyle. All that the great Gulf Coast of Florida has to offer. See all of our listings, PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
This is God's country.
All right, I want to touch on this story real quick. We talked about BOA getting fined $250 million by the CFPB for allegations of opening fake accounts, withholding credit card rewards, charging illegal junk fees, adding to the bank's history of fines or illegal credit card practices. The CFPB found that BOA misappropriated sensitive personal information, allowing them to open accounts without customers' knowledge. Additionally, the bank charged excessive fees to customers with insufficient funds, resulting in substantial additional revenue. With consolidated assets totaling massive $2.4 trillion, BOA is the second largest bank in the U.S., but its repeat involvement in such scandals raises serious concerns about the bank's practices and trust. So there you have it, folks. Again, we've been beating that drum for a long time. Don't support the big guys. Why do you want to support these people that are in favor of a digital currency? They want to monitor what you're spending your money on. The World Economic Forum said in a video the other day, we're going to be able to track and we're going to be able to gross up and gross down the amount of dollars that someone has based on their beliefs, tracking the ammunition that they're buying or gun purchases or whatever people might be buying. So you don't want to let those big banks succeed. Support the local economy, support the local lenders that we have with the Consumer Quarterback Show. We've got 2 great lenders associated with this Consumer Quarterback Show. So reach out. We'd love to talk to you. All right, so Michael Johnson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, selling your yacht faster. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we're going to get into the segment of now for those that have decided to live aboard, bought a troll or catamaran. It's been a couple of years and you're looking to get out of it. So we want to continue to give you tips and tricks on making sure you could sell them fast. It's the biggest concern. I'm ready to sell my boat. How do I get out of it quick? I think it's got to do with anything, big purchases, big assets like homes and yachts. It all falls in that same category. So how do you do that? So what we consistently see, and it's an interesting topic because it's probably one of those things that have been talked about for years, is how to prepare your vessel or even your home for sale, right? So I don't know if you're still seeing it these days today or how you train your realtors, but what we try to go through is prepare our owners to go, look, you need to clean up the boat. Clean up the house, right? Clean up the boat. You need to wax it, clean it up, get the mold out of there if there's any. Check if there's any leaks. Buff it, wax it, clean it out. Open and at least empty out the refrigerator, because there's a couple times I walked on some boats and you're like, you're gonna sell this as like rotted cheese. Going on in your fridge.
Put some baking soda in there or whatever, right?
Whatever you could do. Whatever it takes, you got to get it out of there. So I think it just comes as a preparation of. You just need to present it like it almost is showroom. It doesn't have to be perfect, but they look at it, right? So I don't know, with real estate, everybody's got their particulars on what they look like. I'm from Chicago. We used to go to the basements and see how well the basements work. If you're taking care of that, you're taking care of the rest of the home.
Good point.
the boats go the same way. I have owners they'll look at listings, and if they don't see photos of engines, they're like on to the next. So they're like, if they can't put the photo up, it's not worth it. So essentially, that's kind of what we look at, is how to make it clean things, get in there, really dig deep. And engine rooms are one big thing where you could get down there and make it look like a hospital room. Yeah. It really makes a huge difference. But
I could see that.
Again, the overall cleaning of a home and the cleaning of a boat, how do you prepare for listings? It is just smart business, because individuals are coming in there and that's what they see up front. It's kind of like, the paint. I'm sure you've dealt with the paint issue.
Yeah, curb appeal, spider webs on the entry. Exactly.
Spider
basic
webs
stuff.
On the entry.
Yeah, just basic stuff, for a home, right? Curb appeal. So it's those basic things, but that's, if you don't say it as the salesperson, the owner might not consider it. And then now, the buyer's looking at this stuff like, hey, what are these guys doing?
Right. And it's, it's funny. Real estate used to be always about paint. They go into the house and see pink rooms. They're like, I'm not buying because it has pink rooms. Even though most of us will go, we'll just repaint it. Yeah. The buyers don't see that. They can't see it. Sometimes they can't see past it. But it goes with anything. Make sure the sheets are clean. Make sure the beds are made. Yep. Bunks are done.
Smells good.
Yep. Right. A little bit of Febreze or whatever you got to do to get the cheese out of the fridge. Yeah. So that's a big part, and this just sells boats faster.
How do you want people to connect with you?
Always. My direct communication is always, you can do my cell phone, 312-890-6385 is direct to me. I can help you out. Or mjohnson@DennisonYachting.com.
mjohnson@DennisonYachting.com. All right, Michael, good stuff, man.
You got it. As always, appreciate you.
Good stuff, yeah. All right, we're taking a quick break. We're going to come back. Shane Socash. Been a little while since we heard from Shane. He's the owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. We're going to touch base with him. Gold, silver, a lot of people looking for alternative investments. We're going to talk with Shane coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. Make sure you follow us online at BrandonRhymes1 at CQB Show, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.